everybody's doing good and everybody's doing great in this week. It's been a good week for crypto. There's been a lot of trading activity, which is always what we want, as traders, as investors, as shitcoin entrepreneurs. I hope everybody's doing well in the chat. Remember to smash a like on the video. I can see all your comments there. I can't go through all of them right now, but I see you there. I see you alive. Let me know where you're tuning in from. And well, are we live? Yes, we are live. Fantastic. We just broke 6,600 subs on the channel, which is fantastic news. We are now much closer to getting to 7,000. So thank you everybody for that as well. We're going to bring TraderSZ on in just a second. Let me know what you think in the chat as to what's going on in the market at the moment. I'm going to ask SC a couple of questions as well regarding this market, and you're going to get your usual Bitcoin analysis and Ethereum, and we'll even talk about some altcoins, But let me know in the chat, are you bullish? Are you bearish? In the meantime, let's see what the answer actually is. So, TraderSZ, how are you doing, my bro?
I'm good, fam. How are you?
Yeah, good, man. Good. Thank you for coming back on the show, bro. It's really good to have you on. A lot of the people in the audience have been asking for this for quite a while now, and just thank you for coming on. It really means a lot. How are you doing? How's things going on your end?
Not too bad, man. Not too bad. I was on holiday. Taking it easy, really. I haven't traded much, but I'm going on another one now. But other than that, I'm just chilling. I'm just being picky with my setups. I've mainly been doing FX more lately, to be honest.
I've noticed that. And you know what? I've got some really interesting questions now. I
Yep.
really want to ask you before we share your screen, right? I want to quickly ask you this right now. Now, this is for mainly everybody in the chat, so please listen up. SC, we've been doing these streams now for what, 2 years?
Yeah, a couple of years now, isn't it?
Couple years now, right? And since we've started doing these streams, let's be fair, we've been in a bear market, right?
I think so. I mean, yeah. When we started them, yeah, definitely. When
Yeah,
we first started them, yeah, we were in a bear
100%.
market.
100%. And if you remember as well, in 2022, I think you caught most of that move along with XO,
And not
right?
only that, I remember from one of the this year's stream, we caught the bottom on this stream
100%. Yes,
where we were
yes.
long from
In
the bottom
January.
from
In
15,
January,
16K.
yes. We did. Now, the thing is, given that it's been 2 years now, and we had that big downturn in 2022. 2023 has been very sideways. People think we're in a bull market. Personally, I don't think so. But is it fair to say that we are approaching the end of a bear market? Is that fair to say? Is it time to be focusing on crypto,
What
would you
I
say?
would prefer is I don't like using the word bull market, bear market personally,
Mm,
because
mm,
that confuses a lot. I just like to say we're at range highs for now. Until proven otherwise, we're at range high. If it flips range high, we're long again. So the word bear market news usually comes with a long set period of time of bearishness. Nah, man, it's easier just say resistance until proven otherwise. I never use the. I mean, I say post it sometimes, but I never look at it that way, and that just makes it easier for me to trade. Actually, less mental real estate, whole bear market, more emotions involved. Fuck all that shit. It's a resistance.
mm. And just before we share your screen, bro, because I know that the legends want the Bitcoin analysis. I know everybody wants it, but I just want to get this out there as well. Given that this year has been so range bound, right? Could you tell us, just from your own words, what does a bull market look like and what does this market that we're in look like? So this market, for example, we know that is very sideways, 15K, 32K, 32K. We don't know what's going to happen. Could it go back to 15? We don't know. But what does a bull market look like in your perspective?
It depends. I mean, I've not really traded many Bitcoin bull markets. Personally, I'm from traditional markets mainly, but I mean, Bitcoin bull market. I mean, in one way, I guess. The best way to
Mm,
describe
mm.
it.
For
I mean,
example, yeah.
there's a time and place when everything lines up together. When the macro views line up, then I'm ready to. It's preparation for a swing scenarios. So when prepared for swing scenarios, look at him. He's excited.
You know what? You know what? Remember what we did with PYR?
Yes, fam. 3 to 50. We took that
Three
from 3 to 50, fam.
$3. SC and his community alone took that to
I
$50. The
even said
community.
when it was around $9, I said I'm not cashing out till 45 to 50. Actually, probably priced in the top there myself. But yes,
Yeah. Look, main thing that I want to get across to these people is that given that it's been 2 years now, the time is now to start focusing. The trades are going to be there. SC's even going to show you his short-term Bitcoin stuff. He will, I promise you. And it's going to be good. And it's going to be a moneymaker. But at the same time, from an investor's perspective, for somebody that struggles to trade price action, that can't control their emotions, that can't control their habits, you're more of an investor. Now, the question remains, is it almost time to become an investor again? We'll talk about that more later on in the stream, but for now, SC, would you mind showing us a bit of Bitcoin?
Let's go for it.
Let's do it.
Okay. We spark up on that one.
Yes, sir. Smash a like on the video if you're watching
Everybody
Legends.
get
We've
the
got
likes up.
200. Yes, sir. We've got 280 people here. Let's get to 200 likes. I know we can do it. Don't be a lazy git. SC, whenever you're ready, my brother.
Let's go. Right. So it's similar to what I've said in my streams, really. I mean, I will be prepared to go long, but when my lungs are like this. So was anybody of you here in the audience when I was calling for a long here? I was long here. I was in NJ stream at the time as well. One of NJ streams, I was here. I got stopped out once on my lungs, and then the second one, and I caught most of this, and then I was long here, and I caught this leg here. Okay, I've missed this leg. I missed this little tiny dot here, but I caught this down move, and I caught all this down move, and I caught all of this as well. So I'm very picky with my swing trades. Okay, when I enter a swing, it's for time. It's not just a swing trade where it's snorted the good shit. Nah, not today, man. I got hay fever today. Unfortunately, no Colombian flu. But anyways, right now we're at resistance. So when I said to NJ, I don't like the term bull market, bear market. Okay, I just like range high, range low, my boundaries. And right now we are at up my upper boundary, as you can see. Is everybody clear with that? Does that make sense? Why this is the upper boundary? August remembers, yes. See, I'm not just bearish. When I was there, I got shit for going long as well.
Yes,
Can't
you
be
did.
that, can you? I
Yes,
got
you
shit
did.
for going long as well. I can't be right
You-
with anybody. You know?
Honestly, I remember that fiasco because you called, and you know what? Let me bring this up again. I know that this is not part of this particular price action, but do you remember in 2018, not 2018, 2020? Was it 2020? It might have been end of 2019 when Bitcoin was at 3K. I don't know if you remember
Yeah,
that.
I caught this one as well.
You
I
went
caught this
long,
one.
and even I
This
was
here,
going short.
I caught this as well.
I remember that. I
Yeah.
remember that. You caught the bottom both times. And you know that other section there where the big COVID spike was just above the COVID spike, just above it? That's when you went max long. I remember
Yeah.
it, bro. I was in class. I
I
remember it.
actually, yeah, I shorted this, and then I got long here. I flipped,
Ah. And then the big bull market
and then I
started.
wrote this out. Here I was
Yeah.
bearish here to prove it otherwise, but then when he cleared this, I got bullish again.
Oh, man. I'm sorry to interrupt anyway. Please
Yeah, carry
continue.
on, fam.
I just
Yeah,
wanted to show that. I just wanted to show it.
yeah. So, it's still at my macro resistance area. Okay, these little price movements up or down do not change nothing for me. When I'm talking about my lungs are something like this. These are my kind of swing lungs. These are my kind of swing lungs. Okay, and vice versa for swing shorts. I'm not looking for small moves. Okay, I'm looking for big compounding opportunities, and within here, I compound 4 or 5 positions at least. You know, so it milks it. These little moves, it's too much of a grind for me. Trading chop like this, too much crime. I do it sometimes, but what I do is I go toward another market. Like while this was happening, FX has been great, so I've been trading more FX. When FX goes shit, I'll be go back to crypto more. So I still do take, like, I've got a swing short on, but that's it. I set and forget. If it stops me, I know how much I'm going to lose, and that's it. So having said that, if we look at it in these terms, what's really changed? So we're at the macro resistance area. Everybody with me? So then what I do is I mark out my ranges then within that smaller. From the bigger range, we zoom down to little one. So far we've had a swing failure. I rode most of this leg down. What's changed? Nothing. We're not testing that. We'll zoom in later. So all I'm doing is showing you my top down, how I look at things, and then how I zoom in, how I zoom in, and how I zoom in. Then we've got this. So we mark out separate the ranges for each thing, just so we're aware. We've got this there, and we've got this there. Okay, So that's one range on its own. Maybe a zone is better with this. There. Okay. That's better. Zone, range, however you want to call it. And then within the yellow ones, I'm going to mark out a smaller one. And what we've got here is this is capping the downside. There. So where are we at? We are still at macro resistance. And this is that range for that. Until it clears this, if it gets within here, then that's a separate range. So technically, so assume for example's sake, say we follow this plan and we come towards range lows, then I would stop, okay, and say, okay, I'll take most off. If it gets within here, I'll continue it. So that somebody could say that's a bear market. But really, what I've done is played level to level, level to level. I've avoided the words bull market, bear market, and whoever asked me, I don't know what it is. But what I do know is how to trade from there towards there, there towards there. And that is it. That is my bear market. And this will be a bull market. Vice versa. Does that make sense? Is everybody with me?
Yes, sir. Even me.
Even you.
Even me.
You funny fucking ass. Anyways, let's carry on. So that's all it. So now that we know our boundaries are, we've also got the midpoint around about here as well. Eyeballing. Okay, so let's zoom in now. So zooming in. What do we look at? So where are we stuck with it? May's high has been capping the upside. What do I mean by that? If we look, so zooming in now to our lower target. So if you were in my streams, you know this, but it's always good to go over it again. And it's also proof that the consistency of what I do is the same thing. I'm not doing anything different. I do the same shit day in, day out. And now let's draw a mid-range as well. So we can draw this Y. I'll explain why in a minute. So this mid-range comes in at 27,830. 27,830. And we'll do this there. So what we're looking at is this monthly high, cap that upside, capping that upside, and we're right there again now. Is this going to turn? Possibly. Okay. So I'm going to mark our monthly open just so I can have it as a marker as to where we're at. And one day this move does not change anything for me. What changes things for me from a macro perspective. Okay. Oops, this is my phone.
It's crazy how May's range has been so pivotal in the last couple of months.
It has, isn't it?
Since that candle came about, that monthly candle, we've been trapped pretty much within there.
Yeah, we're still within that as well. Still within that as well. So bigger picture, until this changes, where we smash out above this, then I'll get bullish. And what I mean by bullish is a big move, at least towards here. Okay, that's above there. Does that make sense as to why? Why do you think of April's month? Well, you can use April's as well. Whichever is working for you at the time. Okay, so the way I go with ranges is whichever's working for me, I go with that. Does that make sense? So for now, April's is, and the reason for that is if we zoom in on the lower time frame, the midpoint is holding. But now, if I even zoom in into that, the midpoint of that is capping what? The 50% of that cap the downside. So I was cautious there. Okay. So there's that. Now, if I zoom in now and clean this chart up, let me just draw this line for May's high. And if we look, what's happening? Support has become resistance now. Does that make sense? Everybody with me? So all we've really done, just like this up candle, which everyone thought bullish, well, it came back down, didn't it? Well, we're at resistance now. Now, if we clear this, that does open the doors for a move, not bull market, but a range play within here. So this here, and we've got the midpoint as well to deal with, which is I'm eyeballing it there. So if it does cleanly reclaim, then I can say, okay, we've got a push up, but that's still macro resistance area regardless. Does that make sense? Everybody clear? Now that macro resistance is a technically a significant level for me. So for there, that means we're at resistance now, right? So if we're at resistance, then I'll be looking for shorts. If I'm not saying massive move, but if we say that's our range low, then we get two targets there and then there. So if I was short, I'm wrong. We'll zoom in a minute as to where I think I'm wrong. But target one, target two. If it breaks and holds below here, and then we bring in the range levels again, lo and behold, from there towards the mid range, and so on and so forth. So there, I do not need to know what a bull market is or a bear market. Okay. Now, one more thing with the significance of this high being is the yearly candle, 2022 mid range. Okay. So if I go to last year and I mark out the midpoint, lo and behold, that is capping the upside. See, on other exchanges it is, and this one is not actually. 318550. If I go to BitMEX, I usually for some reason I prefer BitMEX when I'm charging. I don't know why I
You
didn't
know
change
what?
it.
One thing though, if you don't mind me just saying real
Yeah.
quick, do you remember in class we used to look at that phenomenon, the flat body candle?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of the yearly chart of Bitcoin? I mean, when we're looking at Bitcoin on the yearly, it looks like a flat body to me, on that yearly time frame.
No, is it? Low open.
I think it's $8. I think the wick is $8, which in reality that's kind of a flat body on that
I
time
mean,
frame, isn't it?
don't have enough data for this on the yearly chart, but I mean, I mainly use it for like daily charts and 4 hour and hourly. But
Hmm.
it wouldn't make that much of a difference. I'd say. I mean, yearly charts are yearly chart. I mean, it depends on the lower time frame. For example, say they're usually filling in, balancing the books back out, balancing the ranges back out. But the yearly, it takes a lot to balance that out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
hundred
it
percent,
wouldn't be
hundred
as
percent.
significant for me personally, but possibly. I've not got any data to back that, so I cannot say speak on that much.
Mm, mm.
I only like to speak on.
Just for everybody in the chat. So I know you guys heard me talk about flat body there. Typically, what a flat body is, it's this weird phenomenon in trading, which I actually learned from all of SC streams, where typically when you have a flat body, for some weird reason, the market comes to take it back out in on both sides. So even if you have a candle going to the upside, if it closes bullish but flat, it takes out that upper part of the candle before going lower, and at the same time when you have it to the downside you tend to get it taken out too. So
Mhm.
it's not the be all and end all, but it's just something that's worth noticing and something that's worth looking at, that's all. But as SC's saying here, just because we have one on the yearly chart doesn't mean that we have to come back and retest it.
That's it, my brother. One second, let me send this text.
Yeah, no problem, man, no problem.
Oh,
So, SC is showing us a lot of stuff here in terms of May's range. May's range is where it looks like market is capped. Now, the weird thing about May's range is even though the market has been capped there, because it's been ranging so tightly on the higher time frame, it's allowed a lot of these weird altcoins to start rallying. I don't know if anybody's seen it, but there's been a lot of stuff going up weirdly, and it's been liquid enough to cash out, which is that itself is a weird phenomenon in crypto. A lot of coins from AI, a lot of coins, Telegram bot narratives, they've all been going mental. I don't know what the next narrative is going to be. It could be GameFi, it could be something else. But what I will say is while Bitcoin is trapped in this range, honestly, it makes the market more playable, especially if you're a degen. Just my two thoughts anyway, my two piece. SC, what are we looking at here, my bro?
so it goes to the mark of the mid range. 31850. Hang on. See, on each exchange it varies really, the mid range. But we might be in luck. Look at this. The mid range has capped the market to last year's mid range to the T. The power of mid ranges. So whoever says mid ranges don't work, look at that. So that's where I shorted from. I had a limit order blind there because I knew that clean break above, I'm gonna have to cut it then. And that sets me for the bull market. So as long as this holds, this is resistance for me. Okay. 2022 mid range to the T. Look at that. And there as well. Now, if that 2022 mid range gets cleared, clean break and hold above, then I'm not saying bull market or bear market. I'm saying I move towards there next, and then possibly this high, and then possibly there. And then we'll deal with the rest after that. Does that make sense? But till
Can you
then,
can you imagine how
2022 mid range is acting as the top. till proven otherwise.
I can't really imagine 44k Bitcoin this year. You know, I haven't.
I'm open to it. I mean, if it clears this, then we do it. So whatever we feel is irrelevant.
Mm.
But there could be something come out. The markets have taught me something that anything can happen. And if that gets cleared, then I will be getting bullish. I mean, I'll be leaning bullish, but I'm leaning bearish when it's at resistance area. Make sense?
Would you say it's fair? Would you say it's fair that if we did go to those highs, for example, if we took out liquidity at 42k, for example, right?
Yeah.
Would you say are probably not going to come back if well, we probably won't take out 15k or anything like that?
Now we could do. Of course we can.
Really?
Who said we can't? I
Wouldn't
mean,
it be?
at which point does our mark have to be to say we're not going to?
Mm,
Yeah, it could do. Why not?
it would make the probability a lot less
I
lower.
mean, so what you would like to look for is the odds then. So say we went there, for example's sake, right? And then this could be a deviation, couldn't it? If it
Yeah,
does that, that's mega bearish for me because he had his chance, and that is a big swing short for me. If it was to do that, I'm not sure if he will, but he could do. But if that was to happen, I'm prepared for it. In case it doesn't happen, okay. I don't think
especially as
ETF news
well.
makes any difference at all. People make ETF to be a big thing, makes no difference. The vehicle is there to trade anyway, and even if it is there, I think they'll buy OTC probably, or there's some sort of deals. I don't think ETF makes any difference.
Yeah, I don't think BlackRock's
I
going
think
to
it's
be
just hype.
buying. I don't think BlackRock's going to be buying Bitcoin from us on the
They've
open
already bought
market.
Bitcoin, and that's stupid.
Yeah, and even if they was to buy more, if they were to, they'd send it a lot lower
Yeah,
before
that makes more sense
before
to me.
they wouldn't. I've never heard of a scenario where people like us can outthink a 9 trillion asset company. I've never made. But seeing what we're seeing here with Maze Range, I like what you're saying here. You're saying that if we get above Maze Range the way we've done now, and we
Yeah.
climb up,
So
if we were to get back inside of Maze Range, that would be mega
okay,
bearish
yeah, exactly.
considering.
So now we're
Mm,
zooming in now. So we know these are resistance, still, it's still acting as resistance. Now we're going to refine it even more now. Triggers. So what we then do is we go to the weekly. This is how I do things. Okay. And yes, hit the likes. Everybody hit the likes. There's like 449 of you. There should be at least 7,000 likes minimum.
minimum.
Okay. So we mark out last week's high. And what I'm doing is the exact same thing on the high time frame, on the lower time frame. Last week's low and the midpoint. The funny enough, the midpoint comes in close to the monthly open, 29,255.
So by default, we know that's going to be a very reactionary period area.
Exactly. Has been studying.
I'm a student of SC here and there. You know how it is.
I do on that. Let's go. So, zooming in now, I want my trigger plan. What would increase the odds for me? So, as we can see, we had 2 attempts, failed to take out last week's high, around about where the Maze high. Okay, it's all happening around Maze high. All the action, all the coitus interruptus is happening around Maze high. There, deviation back below, possible deviation there. So, 2 types of triggers. One is cigar lounge. Yes, we had our first cigar lounge stream on Sunday.
Can't wait,
So,
bro.
either one is aggressive shorts here. You'll be quick to cut it if it holds above here. Okay. But the conservative triggered plan, what I'll be waiting for is be going back and seeing what we had before. So if we look at it from a natural SR point of view, this was an old range low, these lows here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark this out and I'm going to explain my reasoning behind that. And that would give me my conservative trigger plan or increase the odds of the trade. Now, if we look at that, pure SR on its own, this is pure SR. Would you agree? It's pivotal. So if I go there, look at this. It's all SR. It's all price action. Support, deviation, support. Once it broke, sell off. Then it acted as resistance, sell off. When it deviated, trigger. So that person that keeps repeating the same thing, where's the trigger? Where's the trigger? This is the trigger for me. Invalidation. Okay. Sell off. Resistance yesterday. Now, the question is this a deviation or not? Now, that would also give me my long trigger as well. What do I mean by that? We'll get there in a minute. But if this happens again, maybe a trend line for aesthetics, break that back down, trigger, maybe around here is target 1 region, and then target 2. There's target 1, stops at break even, take some off, then target 2, and I'm done for the trade. Well, short term. Does that make sense? Everybody clear? Now add back in those levels. Magically,
Wow.
we've got that.
Amazing. Is everybody seeing? That was cool. Very
There we
smooth. Very
go.
smooth.
There we go. Power of the Rangers. Power Rangers.
That was very, very
Yeah,
cool.
I'm taking
Very.
Pink Ranger. Yeah, just telling you.
I don't feel like a host whenever you come on. It's the same with XO. Whenever he comes on, I start getting sucked into the comments, and I become one of the fans.
Hmm,
I become one of the followers, and I'm like, wow, amazing.
these are the facts. So that's it. And there, monthly open. Target. I'll cut it. I got a hard invalidation there, but if it starts reclaiming back above May's high, I'm gonna say maybe not. I'll scale out and I'll wait. Worst case scenario, -1. Okay, I've defined risk. Target, and then if it comes here bounces, I'll cut it or scale out at least or take some profits. But then what I also know is that level here again is the same thing. Break below and hold. That becomes a deviation of the mid range. Trigger, take out last week's low. We took out last week's high. Now take out last week's low. And that is just range bound. People like to use the word PVP. This is probably the most accurate context to use PVP. We're playing versus playing each high. And that's all it is. It's range bound till proven otherwise.
Amazing.
Now, that otherwise, proven otherwise, what would that look like? So, if it does reclaim above last week's high, that now not only is that no longer a deviation, it's a confirmation breakout and hold above. If it's a breakout and hold above, let's go. Short-term stops will be there, and then I'll be targeting towards there. So the trigger, I'll then contact clean break below in case I am wrong. Sometimes you are wrong. Okay, target. So that's a reclaim then. That is confirmed as a deviation back above May's high. So when it, like this, and then we took going towards there, and that's it.
SC, do you know what? And I'm sorry to ask you this, but I have to because I've got a lot of people in my community that don't know how to follow rules. It's really, really simple. You lay it out so easily, but they don't follow rules. So, for example, when you get to T1, right? And I want everybody in the chat to really listen to this because I'm getting a lot of this crap in my Telegram and stuff. So listen very, very carefully to what SC says next, okay? When you talk about target 1 and target 2, okay? This is one of the things that for me personally, it revolutionized my trading because I would round trip so often. It was so horrible. It's the worst feeling in the world to get a move correct. You get the idea right, you get the direction right. It doesn't hit your TP and you round trip all the way back. And sometimes it even stops you out in one candle, So when you talk about TP1 and TP2, could you just give me one sentence or two sentences, anything that you can, just to talk about what that means?
Okay. So it depends. How are you trading? So if it's a swing trade, I mean, I let my swing trades run because I manage them separately. A dollar cut was an example. Now, if I'm range trading, which this is, I gotta be strict on my profit taking because, and to overcome the FOMO of oh, what if it goes lower? So the fuck what? It's the next trades there, but we overcome that by the mid range. So, for example's sake, I've got my trigger. Say if it gives me my trigger, okay, and that's T1 defined, T2. Everybody understand why I'm using these as T1, T2? Because this is the defined range, last week's high and low. For now, until proven otherwise, okay? So, if it gets below there, just like this was my trigger there, when I hit T1, I took off half, and there. Now, if it came here and started to build like accumulation sort of, price action, then that long trigger technically would have been my exit for the rest. Makes sense? Or if you started to hold and bounce, I wasn't sure, I'll close the whole position. Even if it's at T1, because it's not guaranteed to go to T2. But once it got back below, what did it do? I mean, this wasn't the cleanest triggers, but it's still a trigger. Get back in again. Okay? So, if it comes here, unless it's like sometimes it can do a one candle swipe. If it doesn't do that one candle swipe, and if it comes into here, starts finding support, and then I exit the whole position, okay. But then that push up see it as a blessing, because then if it then does to continue to go lower, that is then a trigger with a tighthead validation. Now that becomes my validation. I squeeze up,
Mm.
and then I can get back in as if I never got out, and I play the remaining of the range. And then even then I can split it into two and say that half target, target, and that's it.
So, do you know, for example, because this is mad alpha that you're dropping. This is stuff that we learn in the premium group. But you know, for example, if it gets to T1, would you say it's safe to maybe, I don't know, cut off 30% of your position or
I
something?
would, I
Pay
would,
yourself.
what, yeah.
Yeah.
So what I would say is, when you're first starting off, have a fixed rule: cut off half. If you get two
Mm.
targets, cut half, close half, because the process of doing that and in time repeatedly will then tell you when you journal that when you can adjust it a bit and when you can't. That can't be taught. That you can only go through by experience. So for when you're starting, when you're riding a bike, you teach them the basics, and when somebody learns how to drive a bike, they can do all sorts of tricks with them, right? So
Hmm.
when you're first starting, have a fixed rule: I'm going to close half and half there. Then, when you get a sample set of results by continuously doing that, because you're developing, remember that you're not earned the right to know when how much to do it. You have to earn that right. You got a sample set of results. Then you know, hang on a minute. In these situations, I can sort of like take off less or take off more if X Y Z happen, because you've seen observations when you're journaling, which everybody I hope you're doing. If you're not, stop trading, leave. You're not gonna trade. Leave the stream as well right now. You're not gonna make it. Okay, you have to journal. Trading is not easy.
100%.
Trading is
Not just
trading is
that,
hard.
bro, but I'll add to what you're saying there. I'll add to it. For those of you who don't know, I met TraderSC years ago, and one of the things that XO told me to do was to make sure that I study his what he not his content, not just watch his streams, but study his philosophy and how he sees things. What does he look for?
Yes.
It's a system that he's got. It's not his personality or his character. Those are separate things that he works on for other reasons. But in terms of the trading, it's a system, and it's a system that's been meticulously built over time. It's not just happened overnight. It wasn't Friday, learned to trade, Sunday, making millions. It doesn't work like that. But I remember in 2018, I think it was, I was like, oh man, I took some pretty bad stop outs. And when you looked at what I was doing, you said your issue is that you're over risking. And I said, what do you mean over risking? Like, how can I be over risking when my account is this size? And
Mhm.
you specifically said to me, and you said it in writing, bro. You said it, I've got it, the message somewhere in my Telegram or my WhatsApp or something like that. You said, NJ, earn the right to trade size. If you can't manage your emotions and you can't control your bad habits with small size, when do you ever expect to trade with large size? It has to come to you through respect. You want to respect it, it has to respect you as well. I just wanted to add that because that was something that it made me stop trading for a bit when you said that, you know? But yeah. Anyway, other than that, everybody in the chat, do me a favor, drop a like spike on the video if you can. I'm going to join you right now. Boom. We are at 210 likes now with 450 people watching. Absolutely amazing. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel too. Bottom right hand corner. We're doing a lot of altcoin streams now over the coming weeks and months. For me personally, I think it's time to be paying more attention to crypto. A lot of people have left crypto now. A lot of people have left it. So now is the time to be researching when nobody else is doing it, when nobody's focused, when everything is at its lowest point of engagement. That is the best time to be studying and looking into altcoins. We're covering a lot of altcoins on this channel here. We've got a special coming up very soon where we're going to be covering another ecosystem. We recently covered Arbitrum. So, subscribe for that as well. Hope to see you all there. Could be Friday, could be the weekend, not 100% sure. Does anybody have any questions in the chat, or does anybody want to say anything to SC while we've got him here? Please go ahead and
Somebody asked about Matic. No, I scaled that to my Matic. I clearly stated. So
I purposely didn't respond to that because I find it a bit asinine. I don't like
no,
those
because I've already
questions.
said if it reclaims back above a level, then I'm going to cut it. So it reclaimed back above. So my short entry was bang on at a high target. I'm going to reclaim back above here. I'm out. I let it do its thing. Why should I hold all of this? Let it do its thing. When it's ready again, I'll get back in. So I
Oh,
caught. I
SC.
mean, we've caught most. We've caught it from here.
No, bro, you've been shorting Matic since 150, bro. I took some
Yeah,
150 trades with you.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I've
you've
been
been.
shorting. This was my biggest trade this year.
Oh, bro, I remember that.
This was the biggest trade this year.
You even said in the chat, you were like, "Oh, bro, it was scary the size you had on."
I know I had
You
fucking too
took,
much size on that.
bro, you
Fuck
took
me.
profit. You took profit, and the market started bouncing.
I know I took profit on one of my accounts. Boom! I seen a spike, so I
Yeah.
layered them in, and then I thought, "Fuck this! I'll create a bottom if I have to." Boom! Closed them all.
SC, do you know what? We have one in the chat which I really like. Now, OP Optimism is a strong layer two, and it's a layer two that, in my opinion, is winning in the races against
OP.
other layer twos. Yes.
Okay.
Now, I think that OP. I was speaking to XO about this while I went for my walk earlier on. I was talking to him, and we were talking about the potential that OP has. Now, we don't have to go into details into the fundamentals, but in terms of price action, bro, could you give us, if possible, a sort of Twitter video rundown of what OP, how would we trade OP from an investor's? I mean, well, we haven't really got much.
Okay.
Yeah,
So, I
perfect,
mean, from an
perfect.
investor's point of view, then you wouldn't be looking at shorting or longing. He's been buying spot. So,
Exactly. So everybody in the chat, remember what SC just said. Don't pretend to ignore what he just said. He said if you're looking for a longer term investment in OP, you're not looking at leverage short and leverage long. You're not doing any of that. You're looking for where the best stage or where the best part to accumulate that token is. So I'll let SC take over now. I'll mute myself. But remember to listen to what he's saying. No excuses, okay? Let's go.
so if we're looking at this, I mean, just to keep it basics, let's draw our ranges out. I mean, I would argue that um I mean there ain't got much price action really, but let's go with this as a range high and that to be a deviation. And then we can look at this area as being a possible range low area. I would buy a range low area. So if we came here, okay, around this, I observe in it because there's no reason why. I mean, if things still look shit, I mean, that's in the negative numbers, but you know what I mean. Here, it could fizzle out. So, what I'd be looking for personally, what if you come around here, bare minimum, if I'm going to buy out, it's going to be here. Now, at this point, I'd like to see what the rest of the market's doing. Okay, so is Bitcoin bottoming out, or whatever the case may be, or whatever it bottoms? That's how I personally do it. And then another sign is when it's accumulating, it does this for ages, doesn't it? And when it's done that, he can accumulate. Okay, if it's going to be a long term move, okay, there that's fine. These prices are fine. If it goes lower, that's fine as well. You gotta have a set risk. I mean, there's various ways of doing it. I'd probably be margin trading him up some myself, buy a spot bag, and the rest margin in. But then when it breaks out like this, see this there? There, I'm gonna step in. Okay, and even then, what do I do? I've got my defined range because then that's a deviation back above. Okay, retest there, push to range highs. That's a bonus move. Range high is my main target. So if it does that, then let's go. Because you got a clear risk then, haven't you? So if it's going to decide to fizzle out like this, we get out here, and then wait. I mean, spot bag is a bit different, but margin. But if I was margin, that's what it'd be. And then at least back towards there because that's the defined
SC.
area, the range set. And then if it breaks above and holds, then that gives me green light to hold on to the position. Because then if it comes back below, that's my light, that's a deviation, then it breaks back down. I'm gonna cut it. I'll wait for it to come back below to range lows to accumulate again. Does that make sense? And that's a decent move. I mean, how much percentage move is that?
It's about a
Let's
5x.
let's just do it. Where's that here?
Bro, we've got to buy some OP
Yeah,
at those lows.
yeah,
We've got to buy some OP at those lows, man. Like that
yeah.
blue box, whether it takes out its cycle lows or not, we've definitely got to buy some OP. Honestly, man, I've been doing my studying on this, and you know,
Mm.
there are a lot of reasons why people are touting it as the next Ethereum. Not literally the next Ethereum, as in terms of it's going to go to $1,500. Nobody's saying that, but I just mean that when you look at the fundamentals and you look at if the market conditions allow us to get that, OP is going to be a big player alongside Arbitrum, two layer twos, which are new, which haven't had their cycles yet. If you think about it, when we're looking at OP here, it hasn't really had a cycle, it hasn't really had its big, that those ugly spikes that you get in the bull run. Like you've got it on Solana, you've got it
Yeah.
on,
They're
yeah,
gonna happen this, so it's gonna be a washout. I mean, what market tends to do is when it's going on a bull run, right? It does this, doesn't it? It goes and goes and goes, and then it's oversold, and then it goes and goes and goes and goes and goes, and then say fuck this, I missed it, and then boom, and then it goes and goes and goes and goes. That's the nature, because it's gonna wash out people. I mean, you gotta remember there's gonna be leverage longs as well, so they're gonna be washed out, and then step in, and then there. But see, that's the difference. When you recognize the environment you're in, and when you recognize the context of the market, when it's a trend mode, then you can anticipate these. These moves are then for buying the dips, adding to dips. Understand? That's the because saying adding to dips, I can't say that in a range bound market, but I can say that in the same statement in a trending market, i.e., bull cycle. Does that make sense?
Mm, mm.
So the same thing I can't do in a range market, but I can do in a trending market. But how do I know? Because the context will be bullish. We'll know when, say, BTCs are macro range lows, everything, and even a move like this on BTC. If you saw it as just a range, even if you saw it as just a range, I wasn't gonna stop when I was long in here just for a little scalp there. This is gonna be a big target, at least towards here. My minimum target was here minimum, and then if it clears above that, then it was gonna be here. Why? Because then it's re-entered this range. That becomes a deviation. Where's range highs? There. So this, until that's reached target, my alt I can still hold, can't I? And when alts move, they move like Bitcoin on steroids, don't they? So when this came into resistance, start breaking down, then I'll go to my alt chart. And okay, let's overlay this. Let's see if there's any. Let's see if there's significance. Will I overlay this with OP? Let's see. So here, right? This is a perfect example. OP is here. I'm accumulating my Bitcoin longs here. Okay. OP is there. Look where Bitcoin comes out resistance. Bitcoin comes out resistance here. And this is where I cut my short longs. I get bearish. Look at this. That's when I'm taking profit on my OP. Now look at the move OP's done in the same time. So from there towards there, if I go to OP chart quickly, that move on OP was price range. No worry, I be long in odds, stuff because I don't talk about them. That's 270%, if I've drawn it correctly. But it doesn't matter. That long move there. Now, where did I know where to take profit? Go back to Bitcoin chart. Because Bitcoin was at resistance there. Does that make sense to everybody?
I
So
love you,
I'm not
bro.
guessing the top. I've got a good strategy in
So,
place. The market's giving me a reason to. Bitcoin's at macro. Let's hide this OP.
bro,
Bitcoin's
we
at
need to
macro
do some
resistance
more
now, and it's
alts.
failing.
We
Okay, it's
have to do
failing.
some more. We have to do some more altcoins because honestly, bro,
There's
looking
here
at it
there.
from this
Get
perspective,
out, get out to alt. So you got your trigger. You got your trigger for your alt, whatever, whichever alt. You ride that out now. The alt is gonna be Bitcoin on steroids, like I said, and then get the fuck out then, and then get back in on dips if you want. Do whatever you want after that. Sorry, carry on. I interrupted you
no,
there,
no,
bro.
no, 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 no. It's perfectly fine. I'm just getting a bit excited because you're dropping so much heat. You know what we cover on the channel here is we do cover price action, not to this level. We cover the price action, but also now I'm really digging into altcoins. I'm really trying
Yeah,
to
bro,
understand.
we be all over. You gotta remember, I played some mad alts. I didn't just play PYR. I played
I
Zava.
know,
Zava
I
from point
know.
0.7, yeah, point 0.7 to $20. Beat that one, motherfuckers.
Bro, Zava was an so for those of you who don't know, Zava was the official launch pad for AVAX, right? And launch pads had a narrative. For anyone who tuned into my show a couple of days ago where I was talking about altcoins and how to understand narratives, there was a narrative that came past during the last bull market where we had a quarter where launch pads were a very, very big deal. We saw it with Polka Starter. They had that was predominantly for Polkadot. We saw it with Paid Network, which was across it was pretty much across crypto. Anything that had a good background would launch on Paid Network. Suddenly, there was this massive rush where everybody wanted to get their projects launching on these launch pads. Now, Zava, Avalanche, they were the predominant launch pad for AVAX, as I mentioned, and all the AVAX projects that had any sort of sign of promise, they'd launch on Avalanche. And Avalanche did absolutely phenomenal. Now, similarly, in a way, for those of you who understand altcoins, I'm actually having this conversation with SC right now. If you can read between the lines, why am I talking about OP? Why have I mentioned Arbitrum? Because they're layer twos. Why have I mentioned PYR? Because it's a gaming project. Why am I now going to mention Doge? SC, please, if you don't mind, brother. Would you mind if we cover Doge as well?
Yeah, why not?
Why am I mentioning Doge? Simply because Doge is the godfather of meme coins. Now, for those of you who have been in cryptocurrency for years, you will know what the meme industry holds. Truthfully, not many tokens hold utility, and the true degens in crypto understand that. Now, if you're betting on the value of a project, you're speculating on a market cap of a project that where the token has no utility, but you're speculating on what that community or what the equivalent of that market cap should be. That's when you bring your technicals in and you see where the best entry, where the best exit is. So on the channel, I might talk about Arbitrum and I might give you everything from a fundamental point of view. But when we look at the context of technical analysis as well, you put them together, and it's just like SC said at the beginning of the video, when everything lines up, there is a magical moment and it comes once in a blue moon. But if you're here, if you're studying, if you're paying attention to people like SC, to people like XO, to some extent me as well, you're gonna make it. That magic moment comes and you gotta accelerate hard. SC, if you don't mind, could we look at Doge, please, bro?
Yes, let's look at Doge,
Thank you
bro.
so much, man.
So, Doge, how many coins do I hold? I mean, how long is a piece of string? I mean, you
How
wouldn't
long
believe me
is
if I
it?
told you how much I hold.
How long is it? The Quran can tell you.
I hold a large amount. When I go in, when I step in, I mean, I don't step in often lungs, but when I step in, they're fucking big. So when I was stepping into lungs here, do you think I was only long in Bitcoin? No, I just don't talk about the alts at that time. But I was long many alts here. I was long many alts, and those alts probably gave me more gains. But when I'm short Bitcoin, I short hardcore matic, automatically short the matic. But yeah. Yeah, and sometimes I'm off a bit. I'll cut little hits here and there. But all I'm looking at is that big motherfucker move. That big motherfucker moves. Banks at least good 7 figures, sometimes 8, depending on it. But I'll go in big though. I'll go in big. We don't fuck about here.
Oh,
So
those who know. Trust me. Those who know you very well, they know how much you smash the altcoin game. People aren't ready yet. They're not ready. They
they're
don't
not
know
ready.
because
We get bullish. They're not ready for that yet.
they're
I
not
think I'm
ready for
bad
that yet.
bearish. Wait till I'm bullish. Fuck
Oh
me.
my gosh. All right, let's do Doge. Let's do Doge.
Okay, so hold on. Let's go. Doge is one of a weird one. Not gonna lie. Do you know what I do? I like to look at the Doge BTC pair as well. Let's go to Doge BTC. Let's have a look at that. Sometimes I get my markings out from that. Really, a lot of alts for some reason. Doge. See, and I actually did a Doge BTC chart somewhere. Uh, if you look at Doge BTC, right, it's this yearly candle for me personally. If I look at this yearly high here, I don't think it's ready yet personally. Now, oh shit, it didn't reclaim it. My bad.
Looking a bit sexy, isn't it? Be honest.
Okay,
It
now
kind
we're
of is.
talking.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I brought it up
yeah.
for a
Because
reason. I
last
brought it
time
up.
it was below here. Okay, we'll see now. Now, as long as this holds above here, this could be the beginning. You know what? Fuck me. I feel bad. I feel dirty saying this right now. I feel dirty saying this right now. We could be going up, fam. But in violations there, right? If we've got a clear validation, there's no reason why we can't go up to here, really. Fuck, am I gonna have to long dodge now? Fuck. No wait, nobody long dodge before me. let me step in line. Second. I actually shorted this, but I put my stops at break even on this quick. I took my day trade because I wasn't too sure. I was looking at this. So when this reclaim, I go, no, can't be having that. We'll see. Now, okay, from his own merit, okay. Now Doge is one, right? It can do its own thing, right? Can't it? Doge is one that can do its own thing.
I'll add to that. So after we do the technical analysis
You
stuff,
might know more than me on that.
I'll add some stuff on Doge. Yeah, 100%. I'll add to it.
So, what we've got here, I mean, me look at this. It's not pay I mark up very often, but you know what? I gotta pay more attention to this kind of motherfucking coins. Fuck me.
Anything that Elon
One
Musk
tweet
is
from me will probably
associated
send this
with,
20% higher.
exactly, Saeed. Exactly. Exactly. The
Are you
Elon
ready?
narrative.
Shall we pump and dump this at market?
No, no.
Bastard.
Honestly, bro, once we do the technicals, I'm going to run everyone through why the Elon narrative is going to be huge next year. Why it's
Okay, I'm
going to
gonna
be
I'm
huge.
gonna learn from you from that.
Oh,
That's
definitely.
FA. I got to NAS for FA. When it comes to FA, you want to be following NAS. I do the TA myself, but when it comes to FA, you want to be following Nas for that.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate it a lot.
Okay, so if we look at this, I mean, just from a range perspective, I mean, I mean, this is it looks like one of those coins that has gone through the bear phase, is accumulating, but it's just not easy to mark up this. Hang on. Let me go to my official charts. Hang on, let me find my official charts. Bear with me a second, yeah.
Take as much time as you want, my brother. This is your stream.
Doge USDT. It's gonna, yeah, okay, I've got that there. No, not this one. 2021. Let me go to Doge BTC. Oh, no. Sorry for cock blocking everybody. It's not confirmed just yet for me. I was looking at the wrong one. Okay, go back to the yearly. It was this yearly candle I was looking at, and I'll tell you why. But to be fair, it's this one. Okay, now you can close this long joke. Now, if we look at this right now, okay, there's 2 yearly highs I've marked out. Aspect. I see. This is why when I'm rushed out, this that yearly high there and that yearly high there, I knew it looked different. I go, hang on a minute, what's going on? Now I want you to pay attention. This is the key as to picking which yearlies I pick for. Now, this makes more sense now. Watch this. This yearly high is a retest bounce. Now, what confirmed the bottom for me was when it deviated here, right? That's when I go in big. And when it's deviated there, you know. Now, look from a risk to reward point of view. When this happened, you don't know what's happening, right? But what you do have is a deviation of a yearly level is huge. Big reactions happen of yearly levels. Hence, you got big moves. So, what would that mean to us? What that would mean to us is what would be the next significant targets? So, the significant target, I'd say, would be just before. Imagine it hasn't happened. I can only give you hindsight. But example, there as target one. Why there? Because that's significant. Support. You can see that. And then target two would be before that. We'll go for this. Why there? Because that spike low there, the deviation there, resistance, deviation, retest, sell off, and then extra targets there. Now, if I was to go long this, just say we're long in the Doge BTC pair. Okay, if you're playing against Bitcoin, then okay, you can make money there. A risk to reward is defined risk. Target one, target two. Even if I'm wrong, right? But I know how much I'm going to lose. But what I'm winning is worth it. Okay? Now you can get even tighter ones. I'm giving you the worst case scenarios. RSC is another one I used to play cycles.
Oh, you smashed. That's the one that I was.
RSC, I was away with that one.
Oracles. It was the Oracle. But I'm going to ask you about Oracles straight after this. So we do the Doge technical analysis. Then we talk about Elon. Then I'll ask you about Oracles because Link was the one I was going to ask.
I don't know what the fuck it is. I just played it. I used to cycle. I used to play. I used to get it really well.
Smash that one. You made so many exits from it.
Somehow it used to work. But yeah, see my targets there. So same again. When I'll be stepping into Doge and I'll be a big Doge maxi when it comes, I'll be the inverse matic. If this happens, I don't care missing at the lows. I'm gonna be margin trading anyway. I'm gonna be long that. Same targets again. I know my risk. If it triggers and then starts breaking back down again, I'll look to cut. Scale out. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
So I'm gonna wait for that deviation first, though. I'm not ready yet. For me, it looks like it wants to go lower. Towards here and then there. So that would line up with your. What do you say next year?
Your next year. So
so next year is when I think we could be ready. Next year, I'm gonna be maybe a maxi bull or some of these coins. Now, if things change, and if this does reclaim, then happy days. Let's get ready. Now, this could be the phase of people getting in earlier. That's fine. I go with what the market's telling me. I don't go with inside. A lot of these guys here are no inside information. Okay, some of these guys that got into Pepe and stuff like that. I mean, they allow them no inside info. Let's be honest. A lot of these coins you see posted once it's up like 1,000x. You think they got in by their luck? No, they're only fucking inside information. Don't be fucking stupid. Research. There's no research when it comes to inside info. Research comes afterwards once it's done the move.
100%.
Oh, now is the move. Shut the fuck up. You're not fooling nobody.
Yeah,
okay.
Crypto
But having
is still
said that,
infantile. We're not ready yet for crypto to not have that no more. Crypto, I think, is going to have that for a couple more years.
I mean, if somebody gives me inside info, I'm getting in as well. Happy days. I'm not lying. I mean, who here wouldn't get in no more?
Honestly, bro, you know, with Pepe in specific, I was talking to Petabyte about this recently.
Yeah.
With Pepe, I don't think there was any. I think everybody I know personally missed that. I don't know anybody.
No, that's
Some
because they were given the insider info.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Do you know what I'm saying? Even in the
Yeah.
meme space, the degen space, most people miss that. But with Doge, the reason I brought Doge up specifically was because whether we're gonna go lower or higher, it's going to be one of the main signals
I
that we're
mean, Doge
looking
with
for.
Elon backing it. I mean, you can expect the unexpected. So yeah, I mean,
You
you can
know?
do some FA on that, can't you?
Exactly. And Elon, the thing is, when it comes to Elon SC, yeah, Elon has been really getting more involved. Like we saw in 2021, he bought Bitcoin, he was dabbling, kind of like them sailor
Mm,
guys, kind of like Kramer and whatnot. But Elon took it one step further. He bought Twitter and he's made it more susceptible for people that do crypto.
mm.
He will probably add a Doge payment method at some stage
Yeah,
very,
he's already
very
paying
soon.
people out on that thing. Has anybody here got that money from the app? Is that a monthly thing, Naz? I don't know
I
how
think
much
so.
the
I
amount they
believe it's
gave me.
monthly. I believe it's monthly revenue. Yeah.
No
I mean,
way.
I don't. I'm
Fuck
not. I'm
me.
not your level in terms of like.
I don't need to work now. They
Well,
give me a decent amount.
that's the thing. But that's what I'm saying about Elon. He's turned shit posting into an actual job.
But we do for fun anyway. She posting, but fuck increase my
Exactly,
business thing.
exactly. He's turned it into an actual job. Look, with Elon, there's a lot of stuff going on. I would suggest that if anybody here takes cryptocurrency seriously and you're looking for more, not degen plays, but you want to play maybe mid to large caps in a different way, in a more riskier way, you want to study everything that Elon is doing, whether it's SpaceX, whether it's X, the
Oh
Twitter
look,
itself. Hmm?
BTC. Yeah,
Oh, is it pushing
yeah,
lower? Yeah.
yeah. So
Well,
what
what
we'll
you?
do in the future, we'll do a stream now where I think the bottom is in. I'll let you know. And just like we did here, nobody paid attention to me here. Everybody thought I were from because they could have. I think most people were pissed off because I was perma bearish all the way down. I had a good reason to be. But when I got bullish here, it's hard to comprehend how can a perma bear get into bullish. I'm not even a perma bear. I just follow the market saying. But yeah, I think a lot of people found that hard to comprehend. It's called trading, motherfucker.
Yeah, man,
Okay.
trading up and down, up and down. With
Yep.
with the we've got a different chart here for Doge.
Yeah, there we go. This is the one I was looking for. So what we've got here is Doge USDT pair. Now what I've done is see there we're below the mid range, so I'm bearish below mid range. Okay, I'm gonna trade that break even on my other one, but I'm not too fussed with that. I've got other positions in. Now it's simple. My line in the sand. If we look at it from this perspective, basic trend line perspective, that's a nice inflection point. So what we've got here, why have I picked like this? We got that port support deviation. Support, deviation. Then when it reclaims, it holds. Support, resistance. It's resistance. So to expect the back test to do that with the Doge BTC pair below the yearly level. Now, if you are bullish, okay, you're bullish. But for me, my system, I go with what the market's telling me at the time. If this flips, right, then I'll be going long. I'll get invalidation at the swing low. I'll be going towards, okay, we've got these highs here as first objective, and then we'll go for the other targets I mentioned before. Just go keep it easy, level to level. I mean, here, that's range high right now, isn't it? Upside daisy, what have I done? Turned into right mess. Now, we can refine that even more. So this is just basic naked SR. Why have I picked this? Because that was the first high there. That's the first level, and then resistance, deviation there. That's a major target there. And if he clears that, then we can go for each high at a time. Now, what I've done with that is, watch this carefully. Get rid of all of this. Add in the range levels. What I've done was I picked last quarter's high and low. Now look how that trend line lines up with the mid range. If that reclaims, then I've got targets, target 1, target 2, using last quarter's chart. So I've taken the last quarter's quarterly candle. And if it reclaims back above then and holds, that's bullish for me. Target 1, target 2. But what's it done now is it broke above, coupled with the fact that the Doge BTC pair is breaking below, I mentioned, okay? That now is a deviation. I would anticipate lower prices for now. But if I'm wrong, take the L, flip, long, target 1, target 2. And that's called trading. Does that make sense?
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. So we've seen now from a technical perspective, a deep dive technical perspective into what we're looking for with Doge. Now, Oops, it seems like your stream is having connection issues. Is everybody all right with the stream? Is the stream okay? Yeah, the stream is still fine. I think so. SE, you still with us?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, perfect, perfect. Right. So again, as I was just saying, we've seen from the technical perspective a deep dive into what we're looking for, into how to accumulate OP, how to accumulate Doge. We've looked at two sectors now. We've looked at the L2 sector and we've looked at the meme sector. Two very I'm going to block this guy. Someone block this guy in the chat, please. Titi Baba. Someone block him, please. Liz, can you block him, love?
Yeah,
Thank you.
block him permanently. Hang on, who is it? I will block him on my channel as well.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you. So that's two narratives, the L2 narrative, the meme narrative, two prominent sectors in crypto that will blow when the stars align. A third narrative, which I'm paying very close attention to, is oracles. Now, the predominant oracle for that, the Doge of the oracles that we'll look at is Link. Would you mind looking at Link with us, SC?
Yeah, let's have a look at a link. Let's have a
Now,
look at
this is
Bitcoin.
going to be a big one. The reason this is going to be a big one is because number one, Link, similar to Doge, is not a new shiny
Over
coin. All right.
zero.
The way that I'm looking at Link in particular is I want to trade shit coins, trade lower cap market coins, and then funnel those profits into coins like Solana, coins like OP, coins like Link. And Link and even Doge, I think Doge will have its moment as well. When people start flooding into crypto, it's always the Elon tokens that they look at first. I have no idea why. It's a weird phenomenon, but that's what we have to work with. So that's what we'll play. Looking at Link, SC, I'll let you take over, bro.
Okay. So, Link, I don't know, man. Look at this stable coin of all stable coins. You can tell the strength of this. I mean, compared to everything else. I mean, the fact that it's only here compared to everything what Bitcoin's been through, that is a sign of strength on its own, isn't it? I would say, personally. This is but let's have a look at Link BTC first. I like to look at the Link BTC, it gives me clearer picture. I even look at Link F. I think it's good to make a habit of looking at Link BTC, Link F, all of them.
100%. All of this is a fantastic learning exercise for everybody watching,
Oh,
really and
look at
truly.
that. Hmm. Okay. So, you know what? If it wasn't for anything, I would say this is close to a bottom, or is it bottoming? I don't know. So, what I would like for Link is just look at this as a pair, I mean, range pair. I would say, let me look at the yearly chart for this. This is where you get the main levels from, the yearly. So, what we had here, what yearly candle? Let's go with this yearly candle here. So, this is my first time. This is how, for those asking how I approach the market, this is how I do it. I don't have some magic wand that tells me straight away. I go through the same process everybody else does. And I'm going to go with this yearly candle first, and then we'll look at another yearly candle. And the yearly candle, just like Bitcoin, that yearly high capped the top, didn't it? So you can see the significance. You don't want to be ignoring those. And then 6.048 is the mid. 6.048. 48. Why didn't nobody tell me about Link when it was like no point something below one? Nice, where were you back then?
Do you know what? RLC bang though. RLC banged. Oracles. Look, as long as look, do you know what it is? Yeah, I'll tell you straight. When it comes to the big plays, like with L1s you've got Solana, with L2s you've got Matic, right? Maybe we might not catch those ones, but that sets a precedent. That tells us where the market might go next. So we can see money clearly coming in to, for example, if it starts flooding into Link, we know to pay attention to oracles because for some reason money wants to go into oracles at the time. And people are already mentioning oracles in the chat now. You've got like Ori, you've got RLC that we mentioned as well. RLC banged. Look, Mac was involved in that one as well. I think he got that from you, I think 3 years ago or something like that. So similarly with Link, the reason I'm bringing up these tokens right now is because I really believe that if you funnel your profits into the tail end of these accumulation tokens, you'll basically be compounding. It's the same thing that you taught us in class. For example, earlier on, when you were showing us the breakdown and you were like, yeah, once it gets below the mid range, if we get a deviation from that, we can lower our risk, right? And we can even add above. Similarly, from the crypto side, if you're trading shit coins, or you're trading, maybe someone takes a long or a short with you, those profits you funnel it into these blue chip tokens. These blue chip tokens during the beginning stages of the bull market will give you those X's you're looking for. So for example, like SC and XO dropped a post, same guy. SC dropped a XO dropped a post today where he spoke about OP, and he was giving us some lower targets and some bigger targets too, right? I think funneling profits into the tail end of accumulation on these type of blue chips, you'll be compounding your rewards into another 10, 20x. And then once you cash out of those ones, you go back into the shitcoin world, and that's when you get the crazy crypto, you know.
Yeah. Okay. So now I fixed it. I was in logarithmic chart. I was thinking, why the fuck is my fibs not working?
No, no, it's
Fib
cool, it's
tool.
cool.
Sorry, it took me ages to figure that out. Yeah. Anyways, now that looks better. Fuck it. Oh, that was a big ball leg for me. I was trying to figure that out. I'm trying to mark
Sorry
out that
about that, my
levels.
bro. Sorry.
Now, carry you carry on, man. So there's that, and then the next one is there. So we've got our boundaries, and then what I'm gonna do is the final one. I'm gonna mark out 6.048, 6.048, and I think that's the only ones you need. Yeah, 6.048. Now I'll be using these going forward, so it's good to have marked up now. So this is my process. What I'm doing now is exactly what I do normally. For completion's sake, let's just do the whole thing. 15.423, 15.423, and then I'm done. 2, 3. So yeah, that's how I do it. Nothing special behind that. Now, whatever happens, I mean, I think I don't know. I mean, it's a difficult one. This. So what's capping the downside here is the question. What's capping the downside is this. I mean, by some miracle, if it comes towards here, that I'm gonna be buying that myself. By some miracle. Nah, I don't think it'll happen. But you never know. Crypto being crypto, you never know. Okay, maybe we make everybody capitulate. But what you gotta look at is this is the deviation so far. Okay, and that is capping the downside that high. Okay, so I think this caps the upside. If the mid range it gets above the midpoint, that yearly midpoint, then I think again it's playing it level to level. If it gets above the yearly high and holds, at that point I think market possibly has bottomed, and we start going higher and higher. It's a difficult one to do TA on, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It really, really is. It's got
I can't do
people.
TA on this. More.
It's got a lot of people confused, because a lot of people are calling that box accumulation, which I
Okay, could
think it
be.
is. It could be, but at the same time, remember, as you said at the beginning of the stream, the stars need to align. Everything needs to come together for something as small, like in the bigger picture. Like, it doesn't matter how many billions of market cap
You know
Link is.
what? Yeah.
In
How
the bigger
much?
picture, it's not really a big. It's not. You can't compare it to like one of those forex markets that we trade and stuff. You
Listen, to be
can't.
honest with you, I mean, there's always gonna be another coin out there that probably gonna
Exactly.
get a risk reward. So I wouldn't get too
Exactly.
all caught up with this. But I'm gonna do a little trick. Show you a little
Mm,
trick. How
go
I
for it.
catch bottoms sometimes. Like really fuck you bids. This is how I do it. I get that yearly midpoint right from there towards there. And that area there I might start possible there. So a possible area for a bottom. I mean possible bottom anyway. Don't get too excited. 0.704. No, what's that? 3.704. It's a 3.704 area I'll be paying attention to. I need charts. What I would do is long term is just keep an eye on that level. Okay. Asian quantum might come out of that level. But yeah, keep an eye on that level there. I mean, if it does do this and then reclaim, this is area I'll be keeping a close eye on for a possible bottom. If not, there. But you know what? I can't do much TA. I'm sorry, bro. This pair, I don't know what to say.
Not a problem, bro.
It's a hard
Not a
one.
problem. I'm actually glad. I'm actually very, very happy that you've mentioned that, because it goes to show that, again, when the stars aren't aligning, it's difficult. It's
Yeah.
difficult. It's an accumulation. The question, I suppose, is, and this is not for the stream in specific, the question is, what does a macro bottom look like? Does this look like a macro bottom yet? Are we? Can we talk about $100, $200 from a small period of consolidation like this? I
Which
don't
one?
think so. I don't think so. At least if we was to go a little bit lower, get back above, like you said, then we'd
Hmm.
start. It would start showing real strength. At that point, I'm sure you're going to be the person that sends us to the higher levels. I'm sure you're going to call it. Like you said, we'll do a stream when you think the bottom is in. We'll
Yeah,
do me,
we'll
you,
do
and
a stream thing,
XO.
maybe a joint stream or whatever. And I think,
Yeah,
I mean, I call this bottom just by I didn't need to know FA. So with me, I don't know much about FA. I'm not a FA guy, but what I do know is how to trade. So when I know where there's a bottom from my experience trading FX and currencies for 12 years now, um, this was a potential because the risk reward was too good. Now the confluence with that was many things. The dollar index. So let's bring in that in. So from this chart alone, if using basic logic and rational thought, if I believe for whatever reason that this was going to be a bottom, right? Would everybody here agree there's probably a bottom in alts then as well? Or does that not make sense? Because if it doesn't make sense, leave the chat.
No, yeah,
Leave
they
this
can
right
work.
now,
It will
honestly.
be recorded. It will be
Oh,
recorded.
because they're gonna fuck up in some other way, and I'm doing you a favor by stopping you from losing your money right now. If you cannot
Fair.
understand that basic concept, there's nothing anybody can teach you because you lack basic cognitive skills. You see,
Following
yeah.
rules is difficult for a lot
No,
of
if somebody
people,
could be
man.
honest. If somebody does not see how the bottom also will be, and then they lack the cognitive ability to even think. But yeah,
They remain in dissonance.
yeah, it's better that you go, you play with your little toy, you know. I don't know, shoot a water gun or something. That's better for you. That's
Oh,
better for you.
you got a really cool water gun. I was meant to ask you about that. That was a
Yeah, I'm gonna buy that bad boy one. Yeah,
yeah. Oh,
I got all out on the kids as well. You get me?
the
I
one
get
with the
them the shitty
lights.
ones,
The
and
one
I
with
get
the lights.
I
Yeah,
get
yeah,
the
yeah.
good
That
one. I
looks
get the kids
hard.
all the little shitty ones so they can't fight back. You know what I mean? Show dominance. Because I say, oh, I only want the strong to survive my bloodline.
Send me
So
the link. Send me the link when you get it
I'll
because
send
I
it to
want
you.
to get
I'll
that
send it to
too.
you.
Yeah, I
It's
want
like
to get that too.
$258 or euros or whatever.
What
Yeah.
for a water gun?
Bro, this is a special one, fam. You get me? This is where you test your kids and you see
Okay.
which one is worthy enough to continue your bloodline. Because if the others can't handle it, fuck them off. I only want the strong to continue my bloodline. So,
Oh man.
anyways, where were we?
So
Yeah. So
sorry.
my point is, if this is if this local bottom has a significant move, then there's a good heart. They hurt. Good thing you're not my son. So what's it called? Even if it does hurt, you're not supposed to say it hurts. You can't say it hurts. Make CG one of your mods. That's a good mod there.
CG, where is
Yeah, make
CG?
CG one of your mods. That's my mod.
Oh yes, I remember CG from yesterday's stream.
Yes, make you one of mods.
Okay,
So my
yeah,
point being
CG.
is, if this is a possible bottom, okay, then what you would look for is what's it called alts to have a significant move. You know what I mean? For alts to have a significant move, if this is gonna have a significant move, then alts are definitely gonna. Yeah, Muslim bro. What's religion got to do with anything, bro? I'm Muslim as well. The fuck. Anyways, carry on. So where was I? Let's carry on. So using that alone, I don't need to know when all season is gonna be. This is telling me when all season is gonna be. See what I mean? The price will never lie to you. People lie to you. The market never lies to you. Remember that. The market will tell you when it is. Okay? And that's it. What was I gonna do? Did you ask me to do a coin, bro?
No, so so we were talking about Link, right? We were
Hmm.
talking about Link.
There
We
we go.
we wrapped up on Link. We agreed that with Link the Rangers they don't look very good, and it's difficult to perform TA on it as it currently stands. All right. So we've looked at three now. We've looked at one layer two. We've looked at one a meme coin, the godfather of meme coins, and we've
Yeah.
looked at oracles. I think that's pretty fair, given that we've had an hour and 15 minutes now. I think that's pretty fair. If there's anything else that you would like to cover, maybe from the FX side, if you wanted to, I don't think we absolutely have to. I see some people talking about Nasdaq and stuff in the chat. I mean, it's up to you if you really want
You
to,
can
bro.
look at it. I mean, but you know what?
Mm.
US indices aren't very clear to me. I took a short on ES, and it gave profit straight away. But you know what? It's a difficult read for me. So I haven't been trading it then. When it's a difficult read, I don't trade it. Another confluence with this was the dollar impact. So just to roll this in. So this was topping out. I had reason to believe this was a top out, by the way. And by the time this was breaking down, this was at macro levels. I've done a whole video on this actually. If you look at my thing, about 8 minutes or something. This was how you call a low. And it took time, weeks, and then when it moved in one go. So which coin sorry. Which
Do you
was
know
it?
what? Do you know what? I was gonna say NQ, but I don't want to do NQ. I was actually gonna ask you PYR. That's what I
PYR.
remembered
Okay,
now.
let's do
So
PYR.
so we covered
That is
layer
one bag
twos,
I've got.
yeah, layer two, meme coin, Oracle, and now gaming. So gaming,
Right.
Vulcan Forged, one of the top tier one gaming coin. All right. So if you see, for example, very recently over the last couple of days, we had this mega spike on YGG. If you don't know what that is, go on Binance, Yield Guild Games. I don't have any tokens. I'm just saying that it pumped monstrously. All right. Now, the question that I've got immediately after seeing that pump is this a signal for gaming tokens to maybe pick up some traction? Is it a yes or is it a no? Either way, what I do know is that we've got to start paying attention to gaming tokens as well, because they will have a predominant part to play in the
Mm,
next cycle. They'll have their narrative, they will, and there will be a quarter, just like it was in the last time. There'll be a couple of weeks where everything that you hear, everything that you see, everything that's going up in the hundreds of percent will be gaming tokens. So PYR being one of the predominant ones. I've said
yeah.
predominant a lot in this stream. I don't know why, but PYR being one of them, this is going to be one to pay attention to, especially now that we've seen YGG rocket. So let's see what SC has to say about PYR.
I mean, I've already accumulated around the 3 area. I'm already in this. I wrote this from 3 to 50 last time. Okay, 3 all the way to 50. I started catching up with 5 to 50 area, and that was actually the top. All that move, and that was probably one of my biggest top 5 I've ever made. Good solid 8 figures on that. But with this, um, yeah, I mean, some of these coins I don't think will come that low. I mean, I hope it does. I'm praying it does. If it comes into here, I'm accumulating here because I know with the gaming, I think gaming takes off a lot earlier than most. I think everybody's a gamer here, and the good thing with PYR is that it was a game before it was into crypto, so it had users and people playing it without. So a lot of these crypto coins, gaming ones, they just made it once after being in crypto, based on crypto. But it's a different ball game, and you're already a game way before even crypto was there, and then you get involved in crypto. See the difference because you got to use the base. I mean, people are actually playing the game before even a crypto incentive. Does
Do you
that make
know my
sense?
my boy Crypto AM? He dropped a video a couple of weeks ago on PYR, and he dropped some of the fundamentals that are coming for PYR,
It's a
and
lot of
it's
FA coming here.
oh man, it's a lot. It's a lot. A big amount. So it's actually very, very important what we're doing right now. Like what we're
So
doing right now.
it was this one of the reasons why I've already started. But again, this is a long term spot back for me because with me it's different. Like if for example, if it was the case, see, this is where everybody's circumstances are different. If it was the case where I only do spot bags and that's it, then it would be a bit different. I don't care what happens to my spot bags. That's the thing. So I'm saying this. I've loaded up on this already. So my mean area is around here. Okay, and I will add more there. But you gotta remember, at the same time, I don't care what happens to them either because my main income is from margin trading. Okay, that's the difference.
100%.
So that's the thing that everybody can. A lot of people are going, "Oh, you need it to work." I don't need it to work for me. So that's why I have a fuck you attitude to it. I don't care. No. I mean, I couldn't care what happens to it. But I have that attitude, and I always had that attitude, even when I had no money. Uh, it's just what's the
No,
worst that
no,
can
no,
happen?
bro. But that's what made you successful, bro. It's
Yeah, I
because
mean,
you
if I
were
didn't have
trained.
that attitude, I wouldn't make so much.
Exactly,
It's just because it
exactly.
doesn't. I don't know what it is. I got no connection to it. Just if I lose it, fuck it. So what?
But a lot of
Um,
people don't realize. A lot of people don't realize that making money is really important in life. Yes, everybody understands that. But then once you've got the money, like you have to also have a certain mental characteristic to be able to manage and keep that money. Most people they can make. You could give anyone here $20 million, and then they'd lose it because they wouldn't know how to keep it or maintain it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
I'm a bit weird like that as well because I just even if I lost big amounts, just I've had some big hits. But yeah, but anyways, if from a technical point of view, assume this was a normal chart. If this happened, this was be a beautiful where I look to really load up big, and by some miracle if it happens, and this will be the confirmation play and send it to range highs then at least, and then after that, I mean, what do we have? I mean. I personally, I'm going for $80 to $100 on this, 50
yeah,
minimum.
I was gonna say. I
I mean,
was
this
gonna
is in the
say.
see if you look at it from a naked chop, even the thing we use. So let's look at it like this then. Okay, you're gonna pay up a bit, but I wish that futures trading for this break above and hold. Well, that's a big accumulation zone, a bit like Link, isn't it?
Exactly, exactly,
Like
and
there,
it's
at
across
least there,
the
that's the
board.
next target area, and then is there.
And then we'll see what happens. And then
Mm.
we'll see what happens. I think excuse me. I think PYR is going to be a very, very big token in the next cycle. There's going to be a lot of opportunities. The main thing that I wanted to show everybody today, because I know everybody's been asking for SC for so long. The main thing I wanted to show you guys is yes, look, you have to learn how to use price action. Okay, price action is your map across the entire trading space. Without it, you're not going to be able to even understand what's going on, let alone trade, right? Some people are really good at price action and they can't trade. It's the stepping stone into learning how to trade. You figure the rest out over the years, right?
Mm.
But when it comes to these altcoins, it's a different ball game. Okay, I know that a lot of people won't agree with me right now, but everybody in the chat has a chance. I'm not saying you're going to make it, but everybody in the chat has a chance. The reason we brought SC on today was for the community. If you're watching this, whether you're watching this live or recorded, the reason we brought SC on today was to couple the technical analysis with the fundamentals that we've got. In terms of the stars aligning, we're going to need a few things. All right. We're going to need Bitcoin to find a bottom. We're going to need the dollar to. Well, does the dollar really have to find a top for Bitcoin to have a bull market? I'm not 100% sure it does. But one thing that we are going to need is we're going to need to traverse the market conditions that we have currently. And those conditions are pointing us to a recession right now. That's not bullish. However, if us going into a recession gives us that mega bearish news, then I'll be honest with you, that could potentially mark the low. That could potentially mark the low. Similar to how COVID marked the low, could this mark the low as well? I know that we've got some form of a bear market coming over the next 3 to 6 months. I can't tell you when it's going to come. I can't tell you how it's going to come. But what I can tell you is that using the tips and tricks that SC's given you today, using the analysis that he's given you, his buying levels, his spot accumulation levels, there's no reason why you can't grab a really juicy bag right before the start of a bull market, whether it comes or not. You know, at the worst case scenario, you're going to be buying something that's what? You're going to be buying something. Say, for example, you buy PYR at what level did we put out for PYR? Apologies, bro. So it's currently sitting at zoom out 1 second. Currently sitting at $2.14. Is that the
I mean,
current?
if you can somehow by some miracle get it to here, I wouldn't mind. So let's draw that out, what that would look like. I mean, if it's here, right? So around this, but if I'm going to look at it from a trading perspective, okay, deviation. So if it does this and then reclaims, and then there. I mean, this is from a trading perspective. Spot guy bags are a lot higher, but you know,
100%. But I'm saying, like, even for people now that are watching that aren't very good at trading, that only focus on fundamentals, for example, imagine you could buy a bag underneath $2. Imagine you could get, for example, OP, right? Not OP, sorry, Arbitrum, right? With Arbitrum, I know that there's every chance that it could go to 50 cents. I know that there's every chance it could go to 40 cents. What have I told everyone in the last episode that I did for Arbitrum? I said, look, ultimately, you might most probably not going to get the absolute low, all right? It's probably going to be a short-lived window. But if you were to get Arbitrum under $1, there is so many reasons to believe it's going to go back to 10. You know, so you might not get 50, you might not get 40 cents. Under $1, it's not financial advice, but you're looking at potentially 10, maybe higher. 10 could be conservative for Arbitrum. Similarly with PYR, if we're talking about targets like $50, $60, forget higher than all-time high. If we're talking about all-time high, that's a potential 25x. And using this system, you even know where to trim some off. You know how in the bull market, how everybody's got money, everybody's wearing Prada and Louis V and et cetera, et cetera. That's because they're paying themselves. So he's even given you areas to pay yourself little bits here and there. You can't just buy it and then sell all of it at the top. It doesn't work like that. But if you take some small profits here and here, there's a big chance everyone in the chat can make it. How many likes have we got in the chat, by the way? We've got 312. I can't even ask you for more. 300 in one stream whilst we're live is absolutely fantastic. And if you're watching this recorded, please support the community. Smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. SC, my bro, thank you so much for coming on. It's been absolutely crazy having you on. One of the most informative streams we've ever done, in my opinion. We've got to pat ourselves on the back for that.
you're welcome, my bro. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you everybody for tuning in. Like the video, subscribe to NJ's channel. Let's take him to 7K by the end of the day.
I
Take
would
NJ
love
to
that.
7K subs by the end of the day. Retweet this. Everybody here retweet it so we get to 7K. And when you quote retweet, say subscribe. And if he gets to 7K, I'll come on again. If this
Oh
gets
man.
7K, I'll teach you some other stuff, details of range trading for scalping. If you get him to 7K ASAP. So do whatever you gotta do. I'll catch you guys soon. Take care.
Thank you so much, SC man. Thank you so much. All right, guys, there you go. You guys wanted Saeed to come on, and Saeed came on. And he didn't just come on, but he came on and he absolutely smashed it. So, look, as I said, I've already said it a couple of times now. If you're appreciating the content, smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. The next episode we're going to be covering a very, very important ecosystem, a new ecosystem which has just hit cryptocurrency. Some people are calling it a scam. Some people are calling it the next wave of alt season. We're going to dive into it in a couple of days and we're going to get more on that. All right. So smash a like. Make sure you're subscribing to the Telegram channel. It's the first link in the description below. Everybody take a second to click on that. Join the Telegram chat. You can even put us on mute if you want to miss the alpha. That's perfectly fine. But a big thank you to everybody in the community, whether you're watching this live or recorded. A big thank you to all of you for tuning in. You've made it fun for us, and as much as I hope we've made it fun for you. So cheers, everyone. Have a lovely day, and I'll catch you on the next episode.